Board of Mayor and Aldermen to order at this time. Can we get a call roll, Pat?
Mr. Glenn Smith.
Here.
Ms. Heather. Here. Mr. Eric Smith.
Here.
Ms. Beth Lawson. Here. Mr. Lloyd Lawson. Here. Mayor Stanley.
Here. Eric, would you like to say something, please?
I bless the Lord once again, bow our heads before you. Ask, pray, take this, our heresies, and bless us to be thy will. Give the wisdom to be needed here to better serve you. Be a light to some lost, better the community in thy ways. Here, Lord, we ask and pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, we'll give you a few minutes there to look over the August minutes, and we'll jump in both feet.
It's great. The bond.
The long, right? I thought you said mistakes at this because it's over 8%.
No, because it's his doing.
Oh, team. She get them, don't get that, you know, job. There was an application that was approved to get one at the 149. Have somebody possible for potatoes. I'll be done what his meetings with the Thursday night, trying to get him. He's the only one that's got any place to put it. I thought that's what we got it. Everybody had time to read over the minutes, and we'll go ahead and get a motion on the floor to accept them as they read.
Make a motion to accept and read.
Motion to accept them as read. Can we get a second?
Second.
Second the motion. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Heather.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. Citizens input.
Ray Wilson, last time I was here, most of it was here, I think, the police chief came by my home on July the 8th, I came in and lodged a complaint with that. And since that time, on July 31st, he came back. I was in the basement working, and I heard the wife answer the door. And I walked around to the front, and he was standing on the front porch, and I told the wife to shut the door. And he left, and I didn't have no conversation with him, didn't want to have no conversation with him. But this has come to a point where I call it harassment. The jury holder takes a pill when the police comes out. I met with an attorney this week, and he suggested I take it to the people again here, and then it's you guys' job to step in and do something about it. But I feel like I'm being harassed, and I want that stopped. And I know that I don't want to. If he come back, I will not talk to him. The attorney told me I didn't have to talk to him. I already knew that. I don't have to talk to him at all. I don't have to open the door to him anyway. So you can tell the caryville police and caryville police chief that I will not talk to none of them. If they come to my door, I will not talk to them. And that's where I'm at with this thing. And I urge you to do something about it. Thanks for your time.
What is the situation? You care if I ask?
Was you here last one?
I could have been, I could have not been. I have slept since then if I was. So
Apparently,
please
you
fill
guys
me in.
don't relate feed to each other, and I guess, do you?
What?
You probably don't. In that meeting, you guys don't talk to each other, I guess, then, do you? If you wasn't here, you don't know what happened, do you?
No. Will you fill me in, please?
First time he came out there to my house, and he said that him and another officer, he didn't identify themselves. It came in unmarked cars.
Yeah.
Didn't even identify them. And the first thing they asked me was if I had shot a gun. I said, no, I have not shot no gun. They said, have you heard anybody shooting a gun? I said, no, I have not. And that was the truth. But what they did that day, they tried to convict me. It was a one-man jury and a one-man judge on my porch tried to convict me right there on my porch.
Right.
Warned me for something that I didn't do, and I resented the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
It offended me, you know, the way they dealt with that tonight. But now it came back again on August 31st.
With the same complaint?
No, you wasn't listening. It wasn't the same complaint.
Okay.
He told the wife, I missed this part, he told the wife that there'd been people going around the block running down mailboxes. Well, now, Vicky lived pretty close to me, and I don't know of anybody that's got a mailbox down. And I don't know where he got it. Well, I do know where he got it from, too. He got it from his pill man, the jury holder. The jury takes a pill and he calls the cops. But now that's offensive to me.
Yeah.
It's come to the point, it's a harassment by the cops now. And like I said, my attorney told me to go ahead and log it again. It's up to you guys to deal with it, you know. But like I say, you relay my message to him, I'm not gonna talk to none of them.
Right.
No matter what I don't care what the situation is. I ain't talking to them. I got a blue light, I started burning, throw it in. I used to burn my blue light, but I don't burn it no more.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
If you have a problem up there, who are you gonna call?
I'll call the county sheriff or someone other than the caryville police or the state highway patrol.
I was just.
I don't have to call, I don't call cops, I don't have a reason to call cops. But
You
I
just take
understand
it,
what you're
you
saying.
just take it under your
If
own?
I ever did, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Are you gonna say don't send Caryville, send the county? Because if it's in Caryville City has to respond first.
I'll deal with that if I have to, if it comes to that. If I have to call a cop, I'll deal with that, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, I hope you don't have any issues up there that you'll need one of our
Well, I do too.
officers. I mean,
I hope I don't need one of the officers, I don't want one of them,
okay, well,
yeah.
I hope you can take along your
I
own.
sound a little
Yeah.
bitter, I am. I'm
Yeah.
frustrated, offended, and it troubled me. It's troubled me what's going on, you know.
I was just asking, you said he came back the second time.
August 31st.
Okay, so I was just trying to figure out why he came back the second time. That's all I was
I
asking.
just told the wife that there was somebody knocking mailboxes.
Okay, so he was just happy to be in the neighborhood and stop by your house and,
I don't know about having to be in the
Okay.
neighborhood, I can't speak for that.
okay,
Somebody told him that somebody was going around the block knocking
Right.
mailboxes down, and I don't know no
So
mailbox.
you
Right.
don't know that he hadn't visited all the rest of your neighbors?
I don't believe for a minute he went and visited the rest of the neighbors and told them or asked them if they had their mailboxes down. I don't believe that for a minute, because I know what the answer would be, the answer would be no.
Was it your mailbox that was knocked down?
I don't know if there's any mailbox knocked down. He said that, he's the one that said that. And that came from Jerry Holder, the pill man.
Did
I
you know that Jerry Holder said that? Did you go talk to Mr. Holder?
No, I cut relations off from Mr. Holder about 3 months ago.
Then why are you accusing him?
Well, I know his history. You don't, the police chief don't know this man's history. Apparently, somebody's got to tell him what Jerry is.
So
what
you're
his past
accusing
is.
him and you're being his judge and jury, just like you said that our police officer was your judge and jury, because you're doing the same thing to him.
Well, believe me, I know where it's coming from. I don't have no other neighbors that's called along with me. Not a one. Anything else?
appreciate your time, thanks for coming over and sharing that with us. Okay, any other citizen input? Okay, we'll get into the, communication from the mayor, we don't have nothing. Financial report, Pat, you do that for us, please.
As of August 31st, 2016, the general fund had a balance of $543,062.50. Reserve for special fire protection fees was $68,286.53. Reserve for rainy day fund, $45,000. Reserve for the garbage truck, $30,000. So the adjusted general fund balance is $399,775.51. The state street aid fund has a balance of $109,530.45. The industrial fund has a balance of $868.88. The drug fund had a balance of $3,481.66, with a total of $656,943.03. The revenue for the month of August was $120,038. The expenditures for the month was $83,715.18, with a difference to the good of $36,285.20.
All right. Good month. We needed that. You've heard the budget report read. Can we get a motion to accept it as it reads?
Motion.
Motion has been made. Can we get a second? Second the motion. Discussion?
Is that normal, or is that, I can't remember, is that
What?
the revenue for the month, is that a little high, or is that above normal, below normal? Can you tell me that time?
Right now, you're in the prime of it right now.
Okay, this is prime time.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
pretty
the
good.
last of the
That's
prime.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it?
August,
Okay.
yeah.
From here on out, it'll start going down.
With the Louis coming in, which we should have another good amount then for
It should, and after that,
Yeah.
it should start
the.
going down.
Okay.
You basically got May, June, July, August to get the revenue up. In the past, if you go back and look at the numbers, that's when we're up, and from September on, our numbers is either even or we're in the minus. The tourism drives Caryville. The people that come down and go to the lakes and the things are, in this area, they drive a lot of that up. The traffic flow up and down the interstate, we had that holiday just recently. That'll be on the next one, so we might get a boost on the September one too.
That's
So,
been pretty busy, the interstate has.
yeah. Other than that, that's par for the course is May, June, July, August, since I've been here, that's the months that you make money, and the rest of them, whatever you made, you hope you made enough revenue to make it through the year. And that's, you know, you can go back and look at the numbers, and that's a fact of it. And that's, you know, you base your whole budget on 4 or 5 months. And that is a problem with Caryville and the money situation, you know. More travelers, more money for us. But when they're not traveling, it's getting ready like that. Might get a little bit of a boost there in September because of the holiday, but after that, it's dramatically
I
going to
know
drop.
there's you know, we're having, Fox having those rides, for four-wheeler rides,
Yeah.
and festival, and I
Mhm.
that might pick up our area a little bit.
Good, good,
If we have, we can throw another good month in there, but good.
yeah.
I wonder if there's anything that we should do in the future, as far as these four-wheeler rides, ATV rides, to maybe try to get something here.
Well, we went to a meeting in La Follette. I was there, Vicki was there, Dwayne was there. We talked about, we thought that they was gonna be able to pass a law in the House to permit four-wheelers on the road. But what they came up with was that that's not a state law. So the state supersedes anything that we would do. So the city could say, per se, you can ride your four-wheeler down Butternegg Road and turn on 25 or 63 and go up to Red Ash, and the city could make that way. But the state troopers, if they see a four-wheeler or ATV on the road, they're gonna give them a ticket because it's not state law, and it overrules whatever the town puts in. Huntsville's a good example of that. They put in some lanes over there, and the town was all for it. But when they had those, the festivals that they have over there, which are tremendous, Hank Williams Jr. was over there this weekend. It's a big shock to the economy over there. But when they get those out on the highway, the state troopers pull them over there too. But they are working on something for not just Caryville, but La Follette, Jacksboro, to try to connect some trails together to get more tourism in here in the fall.
I know the Follette, when they had those rides all organized and planned, they would actually have a police escort take them up the main road until they got off the main road.
Yeah, that was for just that ride that they have once a year.
So
Right.
I just wondered, you know, maybe in the future look at something like
Well,
that.
I think that'd be anything that you can do to get more tourism in. If it can get passed in the House, in the Senate, to let people ride those on the road in certain places, that's gonna help, and you could do a couple different things when the council decides which roads that they wanna have those on. You know, I said the way that you could cash in on that is the town itself could have a sticker that you come over to the town and buy. And then that would give you the permission to ride your ATV on the road that was designated for these roads only. That doesn't mean you can take a right and go up here and be on a road that's not designated because you're going to get a ticket. But that may be one way of cashing in on that and connecting everything together. You know, I think it's before I got on the council, it was about 10 years ago, we used to be able to ride our four-wheelers, and I don't think it was law, down like Butternegg Road and go to Red Ash and go to the mountains. And then that all changed. And we started trailering them, and the state still says, you know, if you cannot, as a town, say that these roads are designated until this gets passed by state, because the state trooper will give you a ticket.
Is the state working, you said the state was working on that in the House to try to get something?
Yes, that's what they told us down there. Is that what you remember? Dwayne was, he was there too. He went down there. But, I mean, it sounded like a good opportunity, not just for everybody. So you've got the lake in the summer. If you could create something in the fall to get the tourism in, then you could sustain a better budget than the highs and lows. So we're peaking in the summer, and we're dipping in the winter, so anything that we can do to up the revenue, anything, I think, bring tourism in. The mine thing is when, is that spring or is that fall? Spring, so that kind of helps them. You know, when the Louis Blue does help, it's just a short time. You know, if you had something coming in back to back, selling the motels out every week, you know, that's where we get a lot of the money too, so. Anyone else? Okay, call roll please.
That was just the
I-
communication. No.
No? Oh. Okay, good communication then. Warren, take that off, okay? Edit that.
Didn't hear it.
Okay, call roll. Okay, so I thought that was the financial budget that we was discussing. Did you go ahead and call that? Okay, so, financial report's done. Let's go on to the council members. Anybody want to go first?
Fire department, we had one truck fire, car fire, 3-minute response for an hour. One commercial fire, 2-minute response for an hour. Had one house fire without injury, 9 men responded for 2 hours. Mutual aid was received 1 time with Jacksboro. Assisted EMS 3 times, 7 men for 3.5 hours. Had 3 false calls, 13 men total for an hour and a half time. For a total of 9 calls, 34 men with 67 hours of man hours.
Average. Appreciate that, Eric. I do want to say thanks to the firemen, police officers, first responders. We just went through 9/11 yesterday. They do a good job here in the town. We do need their help, and you don't realize how much that you need their help until you need that call. You know, hopefully nobody has to make that call, but sometimes it does happen, and they are. I don't know how the fire department does it, but they do a good job of responding and helping people. Everybody works in that department a full-time job, so, and then the police department, they respond really good too, and so we want to say that we appreciate all those volunteers and those servants to the people that you know, work for the town, because they do put their lives in jeopardy every time they make a call. If you're responding to a gunshot up in the woods or whatever, and you're investigating that, you don't know. Maybe somebody up there, you know, in the woods with a gun shooting at people. Same when you go into a fire. You know, you go into a house, you don't know that it's going to be stable. But I mean, we appreciate you doing that. You do put your lives on the line for that, so it's much appreciated, and I appreciate the job that's done in that.
I also would like to say thank you. The other day, we had a fire over at the school at dismissal time, which is always crazy, and I had to call 911 at 2:45, and the fire department had to come right in the middle of dismissal, and we also had 2 buses that wasn't running that day. So, and they showed up right at the same time, so they did an excellent job. And we all, you know, did great trying to get everybody situated. We had to evacuate the building. All 500, there was probably about 500 kids there about that time at dismissal, and allow the fire trucks to come in. And Eric Jones, I think he was the first one there. But they all did a great job. Of course, we kept all the kids calm and everything and dismissed everybody, but we do appreciate everybody that did show up and helped and everything. So we do appreciate them. Thank you. It's kind of crazy when you're dismissing 500 kids at one time, and you have all those parents on that one little road out there, and the fire trucks were coming with their lights on, and you just have that one little bitty road, and they had to get out of the way, so it was crazy. But
You want to go ahead with your report?
sure, I will. All right, with the library, we had 1,287 items checked out, 1,120 4 items checked in, 201 ebooks. We added 4 new adults, and 2 state, let's see, 87 local items added and 2 state, 530 computer users, 48 loan items, held 1 children's program with 25 people in attendance, and there were 634 people visited the library. They have moved the book sections around for the elementary age children because they needed better access to shelves. This meant that they had to move the adult shelves as well. They appreciate the city council support for over the past 50 years and hope they will send more space their way soon. That's the libraries. I also have the police. Can we do it too?
Sure.
Let's see. The police report, they had 334 complaints, 12 arrests, 0 escorts, 25 citations. They patrolled 10,993 miles, 3 drug arrests, 20 accidents. The month of August. I have more to add. I've just got all kinds of stuff over here. All right, the Louie Louie Festival is September 24th over at Cove Lake Park from 10 to 7. So everybody that can make it. That's going on. And then like Lloyd was talking about, that ATV festival is October 8th. And the city of Follett is hosting it, but I have been in contact with Jimmy Jeffers with the city of Follett. He has asked if the city of Caryville wanted to do anything. I know they have like 3 different rides they're doing. They're escorted rides, and one of them comes all the way to Caryville at the Royal Blue exit where they stop like up there for something. It asked us if we wanted to do anything, like put a hospitality tent up there or anything like that. I told them I would get in touch with you all and see if there was anything that needed to be, if we wanted to do anything, and let him know, or if there was anything the city wanted to do to kind of, you know, intertwine them with the event, and you know, just kind of, you know, work together as the cities. I guess that's one of the longer rides where it goes from downtown all the way over here and then back. I told him I didn't know for sure, but I would, you know, get with you all and see if there was anything.
Like, does it go, how does that ride? It from here to
It
the
comes all
Follett?
the way across the mountain. He said they usually stop in there like to use the restroom, get drinks, or maybe eat or something.
And they
like
come
that.
up there at Royal Blue?
Yeah.
So they're probably going in there at the old dog pound and going up that way? And come across the Royal Blue,
Well, yeah. And then back.
then back?
Mhm. So
And the police is leading that?
they're escorted.
To the
Yeah.
turnoff?
No, well, they get escorted up there, but each of these rides have
Yeah,
a guide, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for some of the people that aren't, you know.
Or from around here?
so they would still have to have permission up there to ride on city streets up there.
Yeah.
They ride on the streets up there anyways, because I know just, you know, up there, you know, they ride from the hotels and things like that, and like the other night we were up there and that.
Oh, up at the 141?
Yeah, so,
Yeah, if they get pulled over by a state trooper, they're gonna get a ticket.
right.
That's what
But
she
you know,
said.
I spoke with that gentleman up at that hotel, and he says a lot of their business is from people that ride up there, you know, where they park there, and then they ride Royal Blue and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that lady that owns that Ride Royal Blue
Mhm.
in Stinking Creek, she is expanding. She said she is expecting to double the size of her campground up there within the next. She's hoping to have like, I want to say, but I'm not for sure, but she said like hundreds of camping spots. up
Yes,
there.
she bought several more acres, I think.
There's several more RV places going in up there. I was there yesterday.
Yeah.
So down through there, and there's different places now, other people opening it up. So it is getting pretty big up
Yeah,
there.
right.
But, you know, they've gotta get that to keep the state troop, which I don't know if state troopers go down through Stinking Creek or not. But if they get on 63, or if they're up at the 141 coming across 63 and they're up there, they're gonna get a ticket. So one of the roads they talked about riding those four-wheelers on was the road that goes to the industrial park. That was one of them. And then the other one was Butter and Egg Road that was mentioned, and then the park road, and then the guy that manages the park said he really didn't want them in the park.
Right.
So, I mean, if they're not gonna stay in the park, then we don't need it on Park Road probably.
Right, no. So that's all the things that I have.
Lord?
Street sanitation, we picked up 62 tons of garbage, 4 tons of recycling, 6 tons of brush, put 2 new children at play signs up at Roach Lane, put speed bumps in at Roach Lane, put 80-foot and a 30-foot cover on Mountain Road, rock along the ditches on Mountain Road and Fall Creek Lane, mowed throughout the city, and picked up brush throughout the city. That's all that.
Pete? Industrial?
Well, we got the report back about the bats up there, and the report that they did, and they did a study for 2 nights, and the study concluded that there were not enough of those northern Indiana bats in the area at this time of the year. So therefore, that was the holdup on clearing the property up there. So, the property I'm talking about,
No.
the property that they were looking for the capacitor stop.
What's that right?
Yeah.
In the industrial park?
No.
Not in our industrial park, but.
Up there where they originally said that they could
Across
put it,
from it. It's behind back where they.
so it's good to go, they can put it
But
there?
no, it's not good yet. They've got some work to do. They've got to do some clearing of some trees.
The bats out of that.
Mhm.
They got somebody going on now, change the mask going on now.
I don't know who it is, but I think
I
I've
thought
got
they had, I
somebody.
know they mentioned James's name, I
I
didn't know
don't
if he was
have,
gonna do it or not.
They're still in the process of working it out, get all the details out. They still got some more, I'm talking to Mr. Lawson, said they're still in the process of doing some more on it.
Do you know how many acres they are that will try to cut it, they do cut it in the wild?
It's not very large, but I don't remember the exact acreage of it.
Is that, that's gonna work out good for everybody. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
if it
will.
work- I
It's
mean,
a
that's-
win-win situation
Yeah.
if it works.
I mean, where
And that's-
it's right
Works
where,
out for everybody if it works.
where it's at, it's right down this, under the right, it's right down
Yeah.
the power line, all they gotta do is drop down to it.
That was their original #1 spot, they wanted, what they told us anyway.
Yeah. I don't know why they went the other direction, but it's gonna work out good now, ain't it? And then it's not gonna take people's property that don't want it to, get to keep the industrial property, and now we're gonna get, what, 500 to 1,000 jobs up there? Is that what they said when they came down here? There was somebody looking to,
It hasn't been presented to TV yet.
oh, okay. Well, we're looking forward to getting them
Yeah, still
jobs. As soon as we get that
process.
done, I'm sure the county get that done on their part too. Because they was pretty, they had them holding.
I don't think
All
they're
right.
anything to do with the county either. The county's not involved in it. It's the private landowners are putting together something to say.
Actually, it did have to do with the county. What I'm talking about was that they said that because we didn't put that capacitor in, that we lost 500 jobs.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it didn't have nothing to do with the county, but the county was down here talking about it.
Oh, I
And then
was-
when we didn't put the capacitor in the industrial park, then
Right.
they said that, which wasn't true.
Private, that it wasn't true. Private
That's right.
landowners are now trying to put together an alternative site.
Exactly. And that's the way it should have been anyhow.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So, that's what I was talking about. They even wrote something, I believe, on WLAF, didn't they? So, that's what I was addressing, not necessarily the
So they're still
county.
looking at all of that, presenting it as a viable site
Mhm.
because of the efforts.
Yeah.
If it works out, it's a win-win. for
Oh, it's a win
everybody.
for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a win for everybody. All right. Lynn, what you got?
Okay, first of all, I got the rental for the month is $487.15. Planning commission met and, first the BZA met and gave approval, put the sign up there that you wasn't here when we brought the sign up. Where the Comfort Inn is, that road over there, we're gonna put a sign that has 3 businesses on it there. And then, so we had to go for the BZA to get the footage for it, zoning for it. And so they got that approved, we got that approved. Also, we gave them preliminary report for the split the property at the Comfort Inn.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that parties are going in there.
Yeah.
In front of that
Right.
section there, and the other section, if it does good, they would probably sell the other part off, and then another business will go in there. And Mr. Tell is working on getting the liquor store back up there,
Yeah.
up in the old Shell station, so, we have been in touch with him, telling him what he needs to do, and he's working on that, getting that, and he'll come, I thought he'd have this ready for this month, so we could be on the ABC board next month, but he didn't make it time, so he's still working on getting, well, I think he's working with Lisa to get everything ready for that building up there. So we can be able to go back and get that. So everything's, as far as going good.
Yeah, looks good. I believe that pilot bought Speedway. That's gonna turn into a Flying J, I was told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that Speedway they put in the pilot box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that not been right, huh?
No, they bought a bunch of them. They didn't just buy that one, they bought a bunch of them. So, yeah, I think it's gonna turn into a Flying J, and they're probably gonna do something with the pilot station. Hopefully, you know, that'd be even more. That T8 is full at night. I mean, it is packed out.
And Pilot has got a bad place to pull down the highway for the
Yeah.
trucks there.
Maybe up to the restaurant in the too.
That's all I got.
All right, appreciate that. Any old business? New business, council to approve resolution 2016-07, resolution authorizing the town to make a 2017 community development block grant fund application. I'm sure that's you.
That's me.
All right.
I appreciate the opportunity to let you know about it. Of course, you just got through in the process of closing out your last CDBG. And in talking to Eddie, we had talked before, and we'd actually made FEMA applications for fire trucks. We've been very, very efficient in getting the equipment grants for FEMA, but
Yeah.
FEMA fire trucks are hard to get. And we started talking about, well, you know what, we could possibly go for a CDBG for a fire truck. He would be wanting to replace a 1979 truck, which is very good for the application, because that's one of the things they look at is what kind of age truck you're replacing. And we're saying 39 years, if I'm doing
Mhm.
that right. And that's very good. So, I mean, we feel like we have a really good opportunity. This resolution you see here is it's basically not to exceed. We will probably, in all, when we do the application, we'll probably look at applying for 250,000 CDBG, and then your match would be roughly 21,000. The reason why I said we won't go for the full amount, because we have to compete with everybody else.
Yeah.
And we're going to compete with somebody like Morristown, they're going to say, hey, we're serving 20,000 people.
Mhm.
We're not serving 20,000, so we have to kind of keep our number down.
Do we have to keep it just in Caryville, the number in Caryville?
No,
Because they go
no,
out.
it'll be our far service area. So, yeah, so it'll be.
Okay, so
whatever
that's a
our
lot
service
bigger
area.
than
Yes.
Caryville.
Yes. Yes. So, well, one of the things we will be doing, if y'all approve that we go forward, is we have to do a survey where we have to survey, for instance, probably about 5% of the population to make sure we are LMI, which we all generally know it's not going to be an issue for us, but we have to do that. So, and that would be the whole fire service area.
If it's just to the grant, it'll come later on as far as
Yeah, that's, I'm saying that right, S-U-T-P-H-E. Eddie told me.
I thought that's what it was. I mean, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You get that.
Yeah,
You know,
That's part of it here is the match part of it's already
Yeah.
in the reserve for special fire.
we already got
It's
that.
already there, so.
It wouldn't be a budget
Mm,
adjustment.
No.
As soon as you guys tell us to go forward, I'll get with Eddie and Eric and everybody, we'll
We'll get a motion on the floor to go ahead and get the grant started.
I'll make,
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2016-07.
Motion made, can we get a
I'll
second?
second motion.
Second motion, discussion? On favor of that, oh, I'm sorry, call roll. Sorry, Pat, I apologize.
That's okay. Mr. William Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Heather.
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Will Dawson.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes.
That's all I have.
We appreciate that,
Okay.
appreciate all, just keep, working on all those grants for us, we appreciate that, be good.
Yeah, anything you run across, of course, always tell me, because sometimes we don't hear about everything, so if you ever.
Do you have anything for panic buttons, or like the office is here or something, because I mean, I log in here after time?
Possibly what I need to do is get on the Office of Criminal Justice, because they have some small grants like that,
Mhm.
so we could possibly look at that, and I will,
Okay.
I'll see. if
Yeah,
anything.
kinda like call the police and stuff going
Yeah,
on.
right. And
Now,
I know
what-
sometimes she's working in the back, and there's nobody out front right there, and they ring the bell, but you never know, you might walk in and,
Oh,
so.
Yeah, there might even be something out there where you can get like a camera system to see who's out
Yes.
there before
Camera
you.
system for outside would be
Yeah,
great also.
outside,
I
inside.
can check on that, I definitely I'll check on that for you. Now, one of the things, when you talked about the, the four-wheel trails and all
Mhm.
that, Rocky Top, I still always want to
Yeah.
call it Lake City, but Rocky Top, they're aggressively looking at going across there and tying to Windrock.
Mm-hmm,
So, I mean, at some point, it sounds like everybody kind of needs to get together and
yeah,
powwow and say, okay, how's this gonna work? How are we gonna make this whole thing work? Because it can definitely be a
Yeah.
big plus.
big,
I mean, your mountain connects to Rocky Top, so, so we can make this thing work, so. Be working on that, because I know Rocky Top already said they want to make some applications for that, so.
If we could get all these cities to get connected together, maybe we could put enough pressure on some of our senators and stuff to
yeah.
pass these laws in Nashville.
Yeah, most of the towns around here want that anyhow, so
Yes.
I think they'd be on board, not just there, but I think Stark County and a lot of counties would be on that. Claiborne County would probably be one of them, right off, so it could be big,
There's a lot of people comes through these, like I said, Rocky Top, Caryville, Jacksonville, Falls, Jellicoe, a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it gets big enough, then they would promote it like they do the tourism and go up north and promote it and bring them down to do that. They've done a good job with that with our lakes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the
Thank
time.
you. Okay. Council to approve resolution 2016-8, a resolution authorizing the town to participate in TML risk management pool driver safety matching grant. Is that something we do every year?
It is,
$2,000?
yeah,
I think we've actually budgeted for it and we fiscally didn't we?
yeah.
They will put that in motion?
I make a motion, we, apply for resolution number 2016-08, authorizing, Carol to participate in the risk management pool driver safety grant program.
Right. Well said.
That's a ton of risk.
All right. Second, can we get any discussion on that?
Thank you.
All right, call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heather,
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Roy Lawson.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. Yes. Council to approve the library yearly maintenance fee, which we have to do that. And then there's some software for $1,100, auto graphics report. Back there. Is that
It's
part of the
it's our
maintenance?
yearly maintenance for the computer system that we use.
Okay.
It's in the budget.
All right. Beth, you make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we purchase this.
That's fine. Motion has been made. Can we get a second? It's on the
I say.
second the motion. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heather. Yes. Mr. Eric Smith.
Yes.
Beth Lawson.
Yes.
Mr. Roy Lawson.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. Let's see. Council to approve codes officer. No applications were received. Nobody applied? Nobody want to do that?
Other than the one that came last week.
Oh, did somebody,
Yeah.
is that the one we're accepting or we're?
Yeah, but he's not contacting me back either, so I don't know. Whatever y'all wanna do it, if you wanna put somebody back in the police department like they've done it for years here, I can assign somebody, I guess. I guess that's left up to the board.
I don't really know what direction was going on there. I don't remember what all that is.
This must be somebody who can issue citations before they have code enforcement.
So why wasn't we using the police officer?
Uh,
Is it too much trouble? Was that it, or
Was it what?
was it too much trouble? Is that why we was trying to do outside the police department, or what?
Well, we're the only department that does it
Right.
inside the police department. And
You was trying to get somebody on the outside,
I
take a little bit
talked
off of you?
to Stan in La Follette, and he's done it for 15 years, and he says you don't have to be police certified in any way to write a certified letter to the person that's violating the codes.
Mhm.
They come to court and they take care of it, but you don't have to be certified in any way other than through codes if you want them trained
Yeah.
that way, but they don't have to be a police officer.
We've been through this before, and when they went to court, the judge threw it out, the citation out, because the officer was not a certified officer to issue that citation. And that happened several years ago, so we've been down that road before, Brian.
Yeah. Well, I thought Stan's done it 15 years, that's what he said, so.
Yeah. Well, we've had that, that's the reason we ended up with code enforcement, because we've been down that road, and, remember that they went out and issued that citation, come before the judge. Judge said, was the officer? No, it's gone. Do you not have powers to issue citation?
Like I said, it's up to y'all. I mean,
So Kathy, how in Follette did they do it without having an officer to actually do it? You're the judge.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had that come before you, or what's the program?
No, I can't talk in terms of, we'll follow the,
Huh?
I can tell you in general terms, the reason why they go outside is because of the certification that the people have. And it's certifications issued through the states to understand about code enforcement. Those people generally work with the police department for prosecution. And so it would, in that case, it would take a code enforcement person with an officer to present it for prosecution. You had one person to come forward that was somebody that came in from Anderson County. He's not going to be here. He is going to come up and put a sign in somebody's yard and write a ticket and leave, and all of the complaints related to that are going to then fall on the responsibility of the police department. So it takes him.
Or the council member, whoever they call, right?
Exactly. And so that was one of my reservations. And that night when he was here, I asked, how do you all prosecute? Because it's not so much as an officer prosecuting. You can have somebody certified that works with the police chief to prosecute these. But he said that we give them to the law director and they don't go any further. So he didn't have any experience working with a police officer to prosecute what he was writing in another county, and that's what he stated his experience was. So that's when I recommended to post. There are people that around that have those certifications.
And did we run that in the paper? And
Yes,
nobody
that was
applied?
written in the paper, right.
So it's not a very attractive job.
Well, it
Well, I mean,
takes
if
somebody.
nobody applied, nobody wants to do it.
Well, there's not that many people in the county that had those certifications. So it's a very limited market from which you're drawing from.
You would be a very popular person, would you? You would be some not, you know. Could be to some neighbors, but not the person that
My
got tickets.
concern was having somebody that doesn't live here, doesn't have a whole lot of contact with the area, and them coming
Right.
up and writing a citation and putting a sign in somebody's yard for how tall their grass is and leave. You know, then who deals with all of that, and you all know how that goes. So, it's going to be seeking out somebody with the proper qualifications, because like Mr. Smith says, being able to carry it through and prosecute.
Yeah. And there's no reason to give a ticket if you can't follow through on it.
Exactly.
Because it just, all that just causes a lot of chaos and for nothing.
But if-
So why don't we just let the police do it again? Why don't you just pick
Well, we
somebody?
can do that until somebody comes along with qualifications?
If there's somebody that, I've asked several people that I know that was certified, and it may take a little bit of time to find somebody on the outside that has their certifications. I don't think that we're,
And what's that job gonna pay?
well, right now, it pays $300 a month.
Well, that's pretty good.
Well,
Well,
they
mayor
look
makes,
to,
man.
if they don't enforce.
I might do that. Wash your hands.
So you pay $300 a month, and if they don't enforce, we've got that system now.
Yeah. Where's the application?
You're budgeted into it right now, ain't you, Rob?
But I think that it's something that the police chief can handle quite. If you find somebody on the outside, you can bring that before council, or if he wants one of his guys to get, some training, he can post that, so I think.
Well, we ain't had no applications, so, I mean, yet. Yeah, Brian can probably beat the bushes and find somebody that he knows that can do it and give them a job, I'm sure. But as of right now, I just think the police need to do that. I mean, that's how we've done it, I guess, since we've been in town. And you just pick a police officer that you want to do it, I guess. I think that's the way that they did it before. I don't think, did the council decide on who the police officer was, or did the chief always take care of it?
Chief.
Well, then you just take care of it. Ain't gonna be bucks. That's what I would say to do, and to, you know, you find a friend that knows how to do it and certify it and all that, when you get somebody to do it. I mean, I don't know, at least that gets it done if there's issues. It's going to be a stressful job. I mean, I think it will be. If it's held to the standard of what we say that it is, it'll be stressful. I mean, when everybody gets called, I mean, you know. Well, it's going to take it's going to be a tough job. It's not going, you know, it is what it is. So, well, and we've tried to enforce those things before. And then they've not been able to enforce them, even, so, you know, so, just do that, let the police do it. You guys are right there, you measuring stick, start measuring grass. I tell you, that's a tough job, that's a tough job. Oh, that's really. Anyhow, all right, we'll go on if I can see. All right. Council to approve for Stony Fork Volunteer Fire Department to have a roadblock on October 8th, 2016. I think we've done that before and let them do that. I don't think there's any problems with our fire department letting them do that, is there? Can we get a motion to that effect?
Make a motion, first one, to have a road drive, road block on October 8th.
Motion has been made. Can we get a second? Second the motion. Any discussion?
Is any other money on the third? Go for it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ed Lawson? Yes. Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stabler?
Yes. Council to approve the lowest quote for 2017 SUV for the police department. No bids were received. No bids, no applications. Brian, what's going on?
I can't make them.
You can't make them apply, can you?
We got some quotes, so we need.
All right. What's it for? Give it to, what we got?
Ray Varner's got the lowest quote. It beats, I think there's 4 of them. Ray Varner's the cheapest. And that's who we bought with in the past also.
I should have.
I didn't look. All right, well, I mean, if it's the lowest and it's a Ford, you can't go wrong. It's probably just gonna buy another Dodge.
Yeah, the black one.
The lowest bid, it's in the budget, correct? Then we need to get a motion to accept the lowest bid.
Lowest quote.
The lowest quote.
Motion to accept the
Lowest quote, motion on floor, Vicky. Can we get a second? Second the motion. Any discussion?
I'll go.
Okay, here we go.
Brian, does this meet all your specs
Yeah.
that you have out there?
Number one for Ray Barner?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is it black?
Yeah.
That's all I'm pushing there. All right. Is it the chief? Is it the chief car?
No,
No,
it's going on the road.
it's on right. Is it gonna be marked?
Yes.
Okay. That other one looks good with that blue on it.
That's what it's going to be. That's,
It looks good. I wish it's all black with that blue right. That's nice. Any other discussion? Anybody got any questions? If not, call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Heather Yes. Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stephen?
Yes. Council to discuss and approve bid for a garbage truck. Lloyd,
I don't have the bids.
you don't have the bid, they should be in here, I'm sure. That's got burned on that wall, you know.
That's three of them.
Here they are.
They are on the
It's on here, lower.
David knew he
It's
wouldn't
on
be
these
here.
sheets attached.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Is this
David ain't here, I don't know, what do, I can't remember what.
And he said the same, I think that 115, 101 is the same truck as that 135. I'm not sure about the 110.
Yeah, he's on vacations, we got, I'm not talking about that.
And he really didn't say a whole lot to me.
So is he wanting the 115, is that what you understood him to say?
He said that was the same truck as the one of those times. I'll just make a motion that we accept the 115. Municipal Equipment Incorporated, I guess.
All right, motion's on the floor to buy the 11501. I guess that's second the motion, discussion. I have a question about garbage truck. The present one that we have right now, are they trading that in?
Yeah, that's what-
Oh, they are trading that in, okay. That's all I want
It's
to know.
$10,000.
Better than okay.
I'm just municipal. Does this mean it's signed, sealed, and delivered? I'm new, I'm kind of a new guy, but does that mean that you're all accepting the 2015 or, I mean, the $115,000 Freightliner?
Unless you're gonna give us a discount.
Huh?
Unless you're gonna give us a discount.
I'm talking about that. But, so that means that you're not gonna take it to anyone else, it's just gonna be approved and done, specs that we're given.
I guess I'm assuming that you guys looked at different ones. I guess that's why there's three numbers here.
I don't know what.
Oh, okay, you already looked at it?
Oh, so you're the municipal
I'm a
equipment
municipal, yes, I'm-
incorporated, are you the 110?
I'm the 110, well, I'm the 115, the 110 is the bottom.
Both.
Yeah, so I'm the Freightliner and the International. For the municipal equipment.
That's 115.
What's the 115?
115 is the Freightliner.
Freightliner. Is that what David wanted?
I don't know, I'm not talking to David today. But you said the 115 and
You are 115 and one, you have two on
We
here.
have two, yeah, we have two.
And they're both the garbage trucks,
They're both the same body, which is the New Way body. It's
different truck.
Right, different truck. One's a
And-
Freightliner, one's an International. I think you've got, this guy's having an
that's
International.
fully equipped with everything that we specify, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that the 115 and 135?
It's, the net bid is 115 and 110.
Okay.
Which one is the 110?
110 is the International, it's 2017.
And that's you too?
That's what?
That's
they
you
did.
also?
That's me,
Yeah.
right.
Well,
I don't know how.
why don't you tell us the difference between them, because I'd like to know.
It's just, the body's the same. You know,
Right.
the actual body is the
Right,
same,
we
it's
got
just a
that.
different chassis. So we bid out a Freightliner and an International. that's the actual truck itself.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. It's on what you would like, what the user would like, and so we have options. We can put things on a Mac, International, or Freightliner, or whatever. But that's how the difference is. The body's the same. It's you know, a 20 cubic yard Viper, and it's gonna be the same on whatever you guys choose for each of these.
What do you prefer?
I don't know. That I can't.
You selling them?
Every,
aren't you?
well, I mean, everyone does.
Well, you making the most margin on them.
Everyone prefers Freightliner over International, but I think you guys haven't, I don't know, this is my first rodeo really, so you guys haven't had any trouble with your Heil with an International chassis on it. But so, you know, that's up to you guys.
And you said David wanted to go with
Well,
one.
And they
mentioned
actually
that
award the
these
bid to them,
two-
and they'll let him choose.
Yeah, would be the same, and that's the other thing he told me
What?
about. The 115 and the other bid, which was 135.
Which is no
It's the
company.
same, yeah, the same truck, he said.
Same truck, just cheaper price.
That's the only thing he told us, yeah. He didn't mention the 110.
So there's really only two companies,
Yes.
so we could just say we're going with the municipal.
And then let him just pick whichever one he does. That's fine with me.
So the 115 for the,
Yeah.
okay,
Maybe
correct.
110 or 150, whichever one David decides.
Yeah.
We'll
We're
accept
just
your
gonna
bid.
go with, we're accepting your
Okay.
bid. yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But it'll be one
Thanks,
of
guys.
He's got a vote.
That'll be the manager of the street department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Decision
David.
on which one.
I talked to him a little bit about this, so.
All right. Okay. Any other discussion? Thank you for your input. Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith?
Yes.
He said yes. Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Roy Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stanton?
Yes. Council to discuss and approve bid for 2004 Chevy Impala. We have a bid. I guess the biggest bid is $500 for that car. Is that one you seized?
Yes, the drug seized, yeah.
Okay, so have you been in it? You drove it?
I have drove it, runs.
Is it a good car?
It's a decent car. I mean, it's got a dent on the front fender, as far as running wise.
Is it worth, I guess my question is it worth more than $500? In your opinion?
If you like that kind of car, it might be. Is that a good answer?
That's your roundabout rates,
You recommend we take this bid?
I wouldn't. I would not. That's, no, that's too cheap in my opinion, but
Is the inside trashed on it, or is it?
All the inside actually looks good.
does
How
it?
many miles on it?
It's got 189,000.
I think we can get more for it than that. You know what about if it, and before we get into that, you're getting ready to cut the deal down at Ray Biles. But what would they do if would they take that as a trade-in?
They might, but you always get more money. I mean, they may look like it's getting more money coming from a trade-in, but we'd rather have the cash to go in the drug fund. So that's what we use, and I don't know if what we use the drug seized car for is put back in the drug fund.
I'd say put this back out for bid. I think that's too low. I think we'll get more money. I think that's just not gonna be.
Lord, you know.
It's worth more than $500.
It's worth more, but you can't buy anything for $500. You
So
just,
you want to put it back in those three?
I would, I'd make a motion that we deny the bids.
motion to deny the bid. Can we get a second to that? Second motion, discussion?
Can I ask?
Yeah,
Not about that,
yeah.
but the money that we got off the Jeep, what did we do with that? Did it
Oh.
go in the general fund? How did
Because
it
it
do?
was a drug.
Okay. I was just wondering why.
What was
it
it
didn't go in
for?
the- It was more than that, wasn't it? That's why I was just wondering why it didn't, but if it wasn't a drug.
Because
Yeah.
it
Well,
was
that,
the police.
but that didn't go back to the police department though?
No.
It just went to the general, why didn't it go to the police
I don't
department?
understand that.
we just can't put it into something in the police department. It has to go into the general fund.
Paid for out of the general fund, right?
Maybe, well, sure, everything is paid out of the general fund. I mean, we just slice it up at budget time and say, this is your budget, but it's all out of the, you know,
And I
but.
see where this is going into the drug fund, but I mean, I was just wondering why that couldn't have been put like in the drug fund or something.
I don't know, but it looks like to me, I mean,
Unless it's
just,
drug related.
I think that they probably, the police should probably get that $2,500 more on their budget added or something, I mean.
I'll ask the auditors.
I mean, it was your car. I mean, that, or take that $2,500 out of the general fund and put it on this Explorer or
Yep,
something, you
yep.
know? Use it for something for them. I mean, you sell something, you don't get nothing for it, they're never gonna wanna sell nothing again. You know? I mean,
Stacking everything back there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it, if it's yours and you sell it, you should get the money.
I agree. But that's
Like if
just the
you
way
sell
it's
that
set up.
old council tractor and get the new one, you guys should get that money. Whatever, if you
Yeah,
sell
it's
it.
all goes back in general fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my discussion, sorry.
So, all right. Any other discussion on this? If not, call roll, please. It's to turn the
That
bid
is to
down,
turn the
right?
bid down.
Turn the bid
Okay. Mr. Quinn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heather,
Yeah.
Mr. Eric Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson, Mr. Wood Lawson,
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes.
Can we rebid that out again?
Yeah.
Y'all want me to rebid it?
We wanna rebuild that again? Rebid it again? Yeah.
Rebid.
And that's pretty low. Maybe a
Okay,
good
should we-
starter car for somebody.
Should we re-vote and say to deny this bid and rebid it out?
Yeah, if you want to amend that, that'd be a good idea.
Y'all, I'll just amend that for deny the bids we got in and rebid it out again.
You okay with that? I'm fine with that.
So does everybody want to go with the same vote? That way we won't have to re-vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. Council to open, one bid received on the early warning system.
Yeah, we had
That's you, isn't it?
a lot of interest in it, but only one bid came.
Mm. I didn't hear that one, I heard that one at Jacksonville, because they said they was gonna do it on certain days, so I was outside trying to hear it. Yeah, and I was like, son of a how much money did we go?
Maybe, was that 30,000 that we done?
Grand total, this is from Federal Signal. Town of Caryville bid early warning system. And their bid is for $25,858.08. And they've got a
25,858.
list of what all it includes here.
25,858.
I don't think we did this without.
We're using utilities generator.
Would you like to make a copy of that, for everybody to look at it, and table it, and come back next time and vote on it? So you know what's in it?
Let's pass it around, let us see it.
It looks like it's a pretty big problem.
Well, right here's the bid.
What is that
I mean,
again?
I'm talking about what they're actually gonna do.
What size batteries it's got and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's not battery.
No, it's not.
It's not battery at all.
Generator.
Because we,
And we talked to Frank Wallace about attaching to the generators at the water tower.
utilities got, because the guy said that when we were talking to one about it, that the batteries was 30 minutes.
It's working very long at all.
And it was, then you, every 2-3 years, you had to replace those batteries. And so and, you know, if you have 2 storms that come through, you know, the alarm goes off the first time, and then fire goes out. Alarm goes through again, you have another storm come through, you got no warning at all.
It says 4 deep cycle batteries.
It's powered off of the.
What you're saying is here.
That's a early one.
Saying it was here and everything.
That's just a backup in case the power goes out. Those batteries are keep them in for a certain period of time.
The generator don't care.
The generators, that kick. Right.
said it was. You heard?
That's what he said down here. We discussed two different options. The other option was about $6,000, $7,000 more to go with the all battery system.
Which was the best place to sit there? Was it here or?
What's going to power that?
What's the warranty, what is the warranty on this?
I don't know what the warranty is. $25,000 iron.
The term and agreement is pretty long. It looks like someone that's a lawyer did this. Here, Kathy, if you want to look at this,
You're looking for the motion, right?
Is that thing, when is it, how's it, what is it wired up, just regular power lines, or how's it wired up?
It's gonna be set over the pole, or you know, you think, we'll know about this.
Well, it'll be wired straight in off of the Caryville Jackson's pump station. Coming off
Okay,
the
so
pole.
it's gonna be wired into their pump station, then that way if electricity goes off.
And they've got
generator-
their generator kicks in, then it has the backup of the battery in the event that there's an issue with the generator.
It has a 3 years on parts replacement,
mm,
3 years on parts replacement, and 1 year on labor from day of delivery. There's
I
a
gotta
few
go
parts
communicate.
that are covered for 5 years, so very little.
see,
We need to add that agenda
Okay,
out.
that's one of the different deals. Gotta have it
It's
in.
4 years, parts and labor is 3. And parts is 3.
What's for?
The total is 4 years.
It's 3 years on parts replacement and 1 year on labor. The first year is on labor, 3 years is on parts replacement. Then down here it says the following products, or there's a few that are specifically talked about that's 5 years.
I remember 5 year too. You said the major big parts was about 5 years, just major.
You're right. Sounds right. It's been a while since we've met.
Vicki, when are they gonna do that?
Up here on the hill, Patty Hill, where the water tower is up there. Well, there was different locations that were reviewed just to see where the loudest.
That seems like a good place. I didn't know there was a generator up there.
Black Cedar Road.
It's got one at this place, but and also too,
I think he's got them at all these pumps now.
yeah, it's not only gonna cover here, it'll go down towards, Vasper, it'll cover down towards, what did you say, Ridgewood? But Ridgewood, they cover all the way down to Ridgewood.
I think so, there, he'll cover back out towards the ridges too, back out towards Pine
Yeah,
Ridge.
that first one.
So we had the map showing the area we covered, and then, and also it overlapped Jacksonville up there too. The map.
Yeah, it overlaps on this end here.
So what is,
I make a motion to accept this bid, because I don't want to delay, we have the storms that we've been having to go through.
Second motion.
So we, now, what are we doing?
Second.
accepting that bid,
Accepting that
everything
bid?
bid.
Okay. Good deal. Vicki,
Good motion. There's a second. Any more discussions on? That's all.
Mr. Glenn Smith?
Yes.
Sorry, Mayor Smith, Vice Mayor Smith, Ms. Heffernan?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Mr. Mayor is Smith.
That brings down to number 10, council to discuss the issues at Asbury Park.
I had her put that on there, as you all know, we've had several issues about Asbury Park and the gentleman across the street that wants to be in charge of the ball field when the gate gets locked and when it doesn't get locked. We had some people that was over there using the ball field that because their little team had is playing travel ball, so they wanted to use the ball field, and they were over there using it and from like 6 to 8, and of course it went over a little bit, and that man would go over there and try to run them off about 8:30 or so. And as long as I've lived in Caryville, there's always been a sign on the fence that said the park closes at dark. So they had called over here to try to get a hold of Chris because he's over recreation to find out when it was appropriate to use the ball field and when it wasn't, and you know what time they were allowed to use it and everything. Because this man kept coming over there and running them off, causing a scene in front of their kids, and you know, saying curse words and stuff like that. So it just so happened that their kids go to the school that I work at, and they come in and they ask me what they could do about it. And I told them they had to call over here and ask to speak with Chris, leave a message, he would call back and stuff like that. They never got a response. So one evening I went over there and to see what the problem was. And that man, I pulled through the gate and he was standing at the gate. And I circled around and I rolled my window down and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Beth." He said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Nothing." I said, "I was just coming over here to see, you know, what was going on." And at the time, that's when Russell was fixing the bleachers. And I said, "I was just coming over here to see, you know, how the park was, what was going on." I said, and you know, to see what the issue was with the ball field and why these people are having an issue with the locking of the gate. And he said, "Because I said it's time to leave, now get your on out of here." Well, in the process, my 8-year-old son is sitting in the passenger seat and he's speaking through the window where my 8-year-old son is. And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You heard me, get your on out of here." I said, no, sir, I did not hear you." I said, "You will not speak to me that way in front of my son." He said, "I don't have to listen to you." He said, "I know exactly who you are." He said, "You're married to Wade." I said, "What difference does that make?" And he said, "It just does." He said, "I don't have to listen to you." He said, "Chris hired me. I'm locking this gate at 8:30 and you get on out of here." I said, "Sir, I didn't come over here to say anything to you." I said, "This park is supposed to be open until dark every night." "No, it's not. It closes when I say it closes and I don't have to listen to you." I said, "I didn't say you had to listen to me. I just said the park closes at dark. Not 8:30, it's at dark." So I said, "Well, what is the problem with the park closing? You know?" He said, "I've been over here closing this park for 2 or 3 years. And he said, "And Chris is the one that hired me." I said, "Well, I didn't know anybody was hired for the job, period." I said, "I just thought, you know, you were doing it." He said, "Yeah, Chris hired me." I said, "Well, you know, the rest of us over here didn't know it was a paid position." And he said, "Well, yeah," he said, "and I do what he says." He said, "Better yet," he said, "if you don't get on out of here, I'm calling the police." I said, "Well, you can go right ahead and call the police, sir." I said, "I'm not doing nothing wrong." So I also have him on video, or videotaped by the lady that he was over there with one night, that he decided that he wanted to cause problems with, that started all of this, and that he said, you know, was saying some stuff too about, I don't know, I'm going to try to take my phone out of this case so everybody can hear it. And that he was fussing at over there. I don't know if I can, but if you can hear it.
I'm gonna see Beth on Monday. What's your name? Got nothing to do with this park. I'm trying to tell you. What's your name? Billy Smithers. I've been passing this gate before. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to her and Chris. Beth ain't got nothing to do with this. She's just a hallman. That's how come her husband get put out. He come down here trying to tell her. No, her husband's not the mayor. She's on city council. I know. She's lost some spot. I know who she is. Yeah, she said it's okay until Lord. Yeah, but she ain't got a thing to do with it. She can't tell you that. So do we need to go to Chris is the boss. Right. Chris is one heartbeat. Okay. gets out at 8:30, and you wanna stay till 9.
No, not till 9, till dark, she
If you
said.
stay till 9, then everybody else will wanna stay till 9. Then they wanna stay till 10. Then they wanna stay till 10:30. You gotta have a time to close it and a time to open.
Right, we were told it dark.
Well, they told you wrong. We've been closing to 8:30 every night.
Okay.
Beth don't know what she's talking about. She's always, her and Heatherly's always got to know stuff, something that they don't concern.
Okay, all right, well, I'll see her
We're in
now.
trouble with them all the time.
Okay, well, I'll talk to them all Monday,
Well,
anyway.
I just called the police myself.
Amen.
Yes, sir. That's what they told me to call the police. If you don't get out at 8:30, they said call the police. And they will take you.
All right, we'll talk to Chris, and we'll get it figured out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, can I hear it over? I couldn't hear it from over. They too could, I couldn't.
Here, Eric, just push that button right there in the middle. Eric, put it in.
I'm gonna see Beth on Monday.
Everything got nothing to do with this park. I'm trying to tell you.
What's your name?
Billy Smithers, I've been flashing this game.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to her and Chris.
Everything got nothing to do with this. She just told us that that's how the rules will get put out. You come out here trying to tell her.
No, her husband's not the mayor. She's on the news.
I know, she's lost some spot. I know she is.
Yeah, she said you go put it into law.
Yeah, but she ain't got a thing to do with it. She can't tell you that.
So do we need to go to?
Chris is the boss.
Right.
Chris is one heartbeat.
Okay.
Everything's got nothing to do with it. She wasn't even in there.
Okay, so we need to go pay her.
Listen, everybody else gets out at 8:30, and you wanna stay till 9.
No, not till 9, till dark, she
If you
said.
stay till 9, then everybody else won't stay till 9. Then they wanna stay till 10. Then they wanna stay till 10:30. You gotta have time to close it and a time to open.
Right, we were told it dark.
Well, they told you wrong. We've been closing to 8:30 every night.
Okay.
Beth don't know what she's talking about. She's always, her and Heatherly's always got to know stuff, something that they don't concern.
Okay, all right, well, I'll see her
We're
Monday.
in trouble with them all the time.
Okay, well, I'll talk to them all Monday,
I
right?
just called the police myself.
Amen.
Yes, sir. That's what they told me to call the police. If you don't get out at 8:30, they say call the police, and they will take you.
Okay, well, we'll talk to Chris and we'll get it figured out. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So, and then the other day, when all this was taking place, I know that he has now decided that he wants to quit. So he is no longer locking and unlocking the ball field. I think David is now unlocking it, and the officers are locking it, I'm assuming, I don't know. But we don't have keys to it. The officers don't have keys to it. David apparently has a key that he's unlocking it, and but nobody else. If it's that much of a deal, I'll go lock the gate. I mean, the kids, these little kids that are playing ball over there, and their parents, they went to state. I mean, it's the little team that went to state. You know, they're still playing travel balls, or they were. This has been about, a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I think they're still playing travel ball. All they want to do is play ball. They don't need this man that lives across the street. I mean, he technically probably should have never been working for the city. I mean, as an employee, if he was hired as an employee, Chris probably, he hired him to work in his recreation department or whatever. But, as the town, I don't think anybody that works for us should never speak to the public the way this man once spoke to me or anybody else. He knew exactly who I was when he was cussing in front of my son.
I agree that there's no way for an employee to.
Right. So, I've spent a lot of time at that ball field, as everyone in this room probably knows that. It's not a big deal to lock that fence. I think his thing was more the fact that he was just going over there and running people off. We have many complaints on this man over the past couple of years. I know Laura and Pat have both said that there's numerous complaints on him, which, like I said, Chris did say earlier he was no longer working for him, but it is an issue that needed to be brought up, because I don't even know the man other than the encounter that I've had with him, And if my husband's had encounters with him in the past, I'm sure it's probably over this same thing. But Wade's not the one sitting up here anymore. It's not his issue to deal with, you know. I've never dealt with the man before, so. And then some other things about Asbury, I know now that Russell's not working over there, there's some things over there that we need to get that belong to the city, and they need to be got and brought back over here.
We don't have no keys.
Well, I mean, then it needs to, I mean, if he didn't turn his keys in, then we need to cut the locks then, right? And get the stuff back, I mean,
If they don't have the keys for, if they cut the locks, they put new locks on.
They didn't have the key.
Get the lock.
Said that, Chris said
Well, let's just go ahead and get new locks,
Yeah.
and then you put, and dispose of those there. Even if we use the locks next year, we have a controversy, and it's better to go ahead and get, do have new locks there and have somebody, David or Bruce or somebody before you be responsible for the keys.
I don't think the key on the, you guys were in the concession stand, weren't you?
Yeah. I still have a set of keys, if those are the same locks that we had during the ball season.
They changed the locks on the concession door?
The keys that they is in the concession stands, that where all the stuff's
All
at.
stuff's in the concession stand.
Oh, is that where, okay.
That's what Russell said. Because it's more secure or something.
So I'm not sure exactly what they was telling me. He said he didn't have no keys to get in there.
It's just a concession stand. Because they
These
didn't
guys
get the
do.
locks back from them.
We still need to change.
Yeah.
Mr. Lawson, I will bring my keys over here that I have and give them to the clerk. And you can see, you know, if they still fit the locks.
We'll probably need to change those locks anyway.
You know, you'll still have keys to get in, you know. You can get those locks, you'll have keys, you can use those locks somewhere else. So I'll bring those over here tomorrow.
Okay, appreciate it.
I will. And I'll put them in the envelope and I'll have them, I'll put on there, you know, to
We
give
just
them
need
the
to change
locks.
those locks out
I think so too. So,
tomorrow. Change them.
I mean, the park's gonna be used for, you know, months. You know, the gate needs to be opened and, you know, stuff like that. And I understand, I agree, it needs to be closed at dark so people don't go in there and vandalize and stuff like that. You know, and if they need help locking it or unlocking it, then I don't care to go by, you know, and check on it and, you know, try to lock it. I don't need a set of keys. If they, you know, just hook the lock or whatever, I can shut it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm sure anybody would agree to that. Because you know, I think that the kids need to be able to use the park. I know a lot of them go straight after school, you know, or whatever and use it. You know, there was cars there today. But I just don't agree with the man, you know, bullying people into leaving the park.
Well, you know, they get dark at 9:15 in the
Right.
the middle of summer.
And especially if they're over there playing ball or having
Keeps them
a
off the
picnic or
street.
something like that. Right.
keep them out front.
That's right.
That's what the park's for, they use.
It is.
Do you want to call Ronnie? Do you want to call Ronnie?
Hey, you'll sit here in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he not unlock it today?
Just have to change the lock.
Yeah, his gate is unlocked.
Yeah,
Dave's
He's
on
got,
vacation.
he's got David's phone and he's got the truck.
Dave's
Tell
still
them to
running.
get the go and change
This
the lock.
gentleman's gonna bring the box over to the concession stand. He said he had
They
to.
changed him at a time.
But he's a ring, but it-
Good locks, I think we need to change this when we got our storage unit over and get those changed.
I'd say give
I'll say
everything
change
changed.
them all.
Could change that. Like it said.
Yeah. I'll call Ronnie.
But is the pressure
And
washer
I'd say
over?
whatever.
Everything's over
They
there.
would be brought back.
Oh, no, that was.
We just bought a
It
brand new
is.
one.
You just bought the pressure washer, that big ladder, that, the big ladder that they got to do
Yes,
the
that
lights
big
on
tall
the
ladder.
face.
Everything that's over, that will bring it back.
Key.
Cut the locks off and bring everything that's over there back here, where we can store it. And then put new locks on and then issue, you know, that's not whoever gets the keys, or know who's got the keys, you make the sign.
Do they still have stuff in there? Y'all have anything in there you need to get out?
No, ma'am. The mayor told us at the end of the season, we had 24 hours to get all of our equipment out of there. And the only thing I think is still left in there is a brand-new Coke machine that belongs to Coke. But everything else is, we swept, mopped, cleaned up, and it's there.
We'll just do that. We'll come on.
Okay.
And just if you say, circulate for the session and
Outside.
outside stuff.
Okay. And that building too?
Yeah, the
Okay,
second.
everything.
Building, the session, and,
That's what it locks for the gate too, and you lock the gate.
yeah, the
Yeah.
state, so, yeah.
And then we'll need to make our own officers have many of his keys.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I just wanted to make everybody aware of what was the situation that I encountered. I hope nobody else has. And then, you know, there were several of the parents that, you know, has come to me because, you know, like I said, their kids go to school over there and I run into them more often. I don't know if anybody else here has had any dealings with this gentleman, but I hope not.
I think we bring it forward. Yeah, heard anything.
Yeah.
I heard something went on, I just didn't know what it was, where you played it.
That's just what she got, and I'm glad I didn't video what was said, well, my son was there, so it was not good.
I got one other item I need to add to the agenda before we adjourn, is on this loan. Pat, you can explain it to them more.
Well, I think they just have to have the vote to accept this debt obligation on these 3 loans. I mean, we've already signed for them, me and you, but I think they just have to have that on the police vehicle, the garbage truck, and the street paving.
How many
Just
votes are
because-
we needing, the whole council or just a percentage?
You all just need to vote to accept the loan.
We need to, get a motion to add that to the agenda.
Yeah.
Make a motion to add to the agenda.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, any more questions on it? Call roll, Pat.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Okay, we need a motion to approve this. Eric's looking at it there.
Pat, you looked it all over and it all looks,
No, I didn't have time to look at it, but we signed, I know what we signed. We signed these 3 loans.
Please below 3% on everything.
okay.
And this is the best percentage rate.
It's actually lower than what we
Yeah.
figured it
Yes.
Who was that through then?
7 million.
I'm not even sure, she had 3 banks, so, big banks, so that their interest rate was way lower.
Really?
Have you seen that?
I read it. I had signed.
Yeah.
We're pushing time. Do I get a motion to accept this?
Make a motion to accept them.
Get a motion to have a second? Got a motion and a second, any more discussion on it? Call roll.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yes. Is there anything else that you have to council? Your motion to adjourn.